Hello, we're going to talk about how to do full 8 hours of X-waiver training in just 8 minutes. No problem, I know we got this. Here's what you're going to do. Number 1, sign up for the X-waiver. 2, spread the word. Grab all your friends and colleagues, sign up together. Number 3, treat a patient, save a life. It is that easy. In case you actually want to know how to do this, here's a link to the SAMHSA website where you can sign up. What is MAT or mood? Super confusing. Actually, it's only 3 medications. 1 is methadone, which is a full agonist. 2 is buprenorphine or Suboxone, which is a partial agonist. 3 is naltrexone, which is kind of like Narcan and is an antagonist. We're going to spend the next few minutes talking about buprenorphine. This is buprenorphine. It's a partial agonist with a high affinity for the opioid mu receptor. What that means is buprenorphine binds really tightly to that opioid mu receptor. So anything else that's attached to that mu receptor, buprenorphine is going to come in and say, not you, going to kick it off, and it is going to bind tightly. Any other thing floating around there, heroin, fentanyl, morphine, they're out of luck. When buprenorphine is there, it's going to bind that receptor. However, it does not activate the receptor the same way that a full agonist like methadone, heroin, or morphine does. It does not cause the same respiratory depression. It does not cause the same euphoria that a full agonist does. What that means for us, it's really hard to overdose on, and it has very minimal respiratory depression. It makes it an ideal medication to treat the symptoms of opioid withdrawal safely. When should I start buprenorphine? Your patient has an opioid use disorder. 2, your patient is interested in treatment. 3, your patient is experiencing opioid withdrawal. Here is a link to the California Bridge Quick Hospital Start Guideline. Basically what you do is you start with a patient who is experiencing withdrawal. You can check and see how severe their withdrawal is by using a COWS, a clinical opioid withdrawal scale, or you can talk to your patient and ask them if they are experiencing severe withdrawal. If your patient is in withdrawal or they have a COWS over 8, you can start buprenorphine. We usually recommend starting with about 8 milligrams of buprenorphine, waiting for about an hour, and then checking on your patient. They should feel significantly better. If my patient's feeling better, I'll go back and give them a second dose. Usually my second dose will be somewhere between 8 and 24 milligrams that first day. I'll make sure that patient's feeling better and come up with a plan for outpatient treatment. On discharge, you want to do 3 things. 1, write a prescription. We're going to talk about how to do that in detail later. 2, arrange for outpatient follow-up. You want to make sure your patient has a good outpatient landing place. 3, give them naloxone. We recommend actually dispensing, handing your patient life-saving naloxone before they leave your department. Here's how you can mess this up. 1, your patient's taking methadone. Methadone is a long-acting opioid, and you want to be off methadone for 48 to 72 hours before starting someone on buprenorphine. 2, your patient's using a lot of fentanyl, which can also last for a long time and cause some withdrawal. If you have put your patient in withdrawal, usually the best treatment is more buprenorphine. Special circumstances. What about pregnancy? Buprenorphine is recommended, particularly for pregnant women. It is safe in pregnancy and in breastfeeding. The only key trick here is you'll want to use the straight buprenorphine mono product. So instead of Suboxone, you're using Subutex, which is just buprenorphine and not the buprenorphine naloxone combo product. What about a post-overdose patient? This is the ideal patient to start buprenorphine. If your patient has come into the emergency department after an overdose, that person is at high risk for a second overdose and death. That is a key patient where you really want to make every effort to get that patient into treatment. And congratulations, you have precipitated withdrawal already in this patient. So what you'd like to do is talk to them, see if they're interested in treatment, and you can start buprenorphine on that patient immediately and help save their life. If your patient feels worse or no better, you want to stop, take a minute, and think, was this really opioid withdrawal? Once you're done, your patient's feeling better, you're going to write them a prescription for buprenorphine and arrange for outpatient follow-up. You're going to want to do 3 things: arrange for an outpatient appointment, write a prescription for buprenorphine, and don't forget naloxone. You want to dispense naloxone, hand your patient a naloxone kit before discharge. All right, more questions? Here we go. Here's how the X-waiver actually works. Once you apply for your X-waiver, SAMHSA will review your application, and it will take about 45 days to get your X-waiver. It's a good reason to start today. How do I write my prescription for buprenorphine? Once you've received your X-waiver, it's going to look kind of like your DEA license. And what you do in the prescription that you write, you're going to add a piece where it says notes to pharmacy. And in there, you're going to indicate your X-waiver. I write NADEAN : my X license number, which should look a lot like your DEA license. The usual prescription I write on discharge, 8 milligrams twice a day for 2 weeks. That gives them time to get into their outpatient appointment. How does this 30 patient limit work? Basically what happened is SAMHSA removed the requirements for training for patients up to 30 patients at a time. So you can take care of 30 patients at any one time with your new X-waiver license. For me, in the emergency department, if I have written 30 people 2-week prescriptions, I can write another 30 people 2-week prescriptions 2 weeks later. So I can treat a total of 60 people at 2-week intervals every month. Here's how to sign up for your X-waiver. We've put up a blog post at California Bridge on how to hack the system. Go to our website and we'll give you detailed instructions on how to apply for your X-waiver. That's pretty much it. Join us, follow California Bridge on social media. And I just wanted to say a huge shout out to Rachel Haraz for this awesome t-shirt. Give Bupe, Save Lives. Thank you.